When you say lifelong entrepreneur, I mean, does this go to selling lemonade on the side of the road at 3 years old, or where did it really start for you?
Yeah, it does. It's funny. I didn't live on a busy street, so I had a lot of failed lemonade stands. But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur from a young age. My parents were teachers. They were always good at saving money and taught me so much about finances. But if I wanted something, I had to pay for it myself. My friends' parents would buy them video games or whatever they wanted. If I wanted a video game, I need to save up my allowance or get a job. And I got my first job when I was 14, 15. I was a head umpire. I worked at a local meat shop, which is kind of funny because I was a vegetarian. But yeah, I was always working and saving up money, and I learned so much about just sales and customer service and how business really works. But I also learned that I did not want to work for someone else, and that I hated having a boss. I hated having a time that I had to be at work every single day. So when I got to college, I started hustling, and I looked at college as a ticking time bomb. I had 4 years to figure out how to start a business that I could survive on. And if not, I was going to have to go out and get a real job. My parents made it very clear that I could not move back home with them once I graduated. So I either had to get a job and pay rent or run a business and pay rent. And those were my options. So I started to buy and sell textbooks, competing with my school bookstore. Actually got a cease and desist letter from my college telling me to knock it off and stop competing with them. And that was my first glimpse into being an entrepreneur. And I opened up an Amazon business from there, and the rest is history.
That's super cool. I mean, a lot of people start really early, but you at that early, you don't know you're an entrepreneur. Like you're like, oh, maybe I want to do this, maybe I don't. But that's super awesome that you were doing the lemonade stands, and then your parents supported you, and then they basically told you, hey, you gotta get it together, right? In a way.
Right. And I think like all the boring parts of business is what you struggle with as a young entrepreneur, right? When you're running a company, when you're 20, 21, you're not thinking about bookkeeping. You're not trying to hire people. Like you're focused on the sexy stuff, like increasing sales and getting new markets and brainstorming business ideas. But after a lot of just disasters and things going wrong because you're not focused on those things, you start to slowly realize how important those are. And I think just like most other entrepreneurs, that's really what happened to me.